Hello and welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to continue from where we stopped yesterday, and it's going to be quite easier today because we've almost done everything we need. But then again, let's go back to what we're trying to do. So what exactly are we doing today? Okay. For today, we want to take a look at how to send money, and also this manage card right here. We want to take a look at how to, manage that card, maybe delete the card. So that's the two flows or two features we want to go ahead and design today. So let me explain the first one. For the first one, we want to maybe when you click on send money, it takes you to a screen where you enter the amount and also the account number. So once you enter the account number, it's going to authenticate right with the banking system, then pop up the bank account, suggest the bank name. So you select the bank name, okay? And once you select the bank name, it's going to give you the transaction summary where you see the amount you're trying to send and the beneficiary. And once you click on send, it's going to prompt you to enter your PIN. And once you do that, the transaction is going to process, okay? And when it comes to managing card, what we're trying to achieve is once you click on the manage card, you're going to see the card. And remember, we said this particular app, we really don't want people to save their card information on the app, but then we understand that some people might just want to save it for ease, okay? So we went ahead and included it, right? But when you're removing your card, there is no option on that particular page to add a new card, except when you're trying to make it, when you're trying to fund again, so you can add a new card. So basically, once you go to manage card, you're going to see remove card. And when you click on remove card, it's going to confirm if you really want to remove the card. And when you say confirm, it's going to process and it's going to remove the card and take you back to the dashboard. So basically, that is what we want to achieve. And like I said, it's not going to take time. So without further ado, let's go in and start designing. So first off, I want to pick some of the designs we've done so far, okay? So for here, since I'm going to have beneficiaries, okay, that's for subsequent transactions, so I might likely pick this airtime, but I want us to do some adjustments right here. I think this our form, I think the padding is too much, so we might just go into edit the padding, and since we really don't have since it's not a component, we might just go into adjust them later. But also before then, this frequent contact, I think I want to reduce the size, okay? So I'm just going to select this, okay? Select this, and I want to go with maybe 30. Let's go with 30. 30 is quite small, so I'm going with 40, okay? So the same thing here, let's go with 40. I'm just trying to make sure I make it uniformly so I don't miss anything. So here we want to adjust this 16 to 8. Okay, let's adjust this to 8 so it's actually smaller. The same thing goes here, 8. Okay, we can also do 8 here. Okay, let's not do 8, let's leave it at 16. For this content, this text, I think they are quite large. Okay, so move to extra small. We want to move to extra small for everything. Okay, extra small, extra small. Let's use that extra small, and don't forget to center it. Okay, extra small, and don't forget to center it as well. So the same thing goes here, you want to center it. Okay, and we also want to repeat the same thing here. So this text, I can just select the 3 of them, and I want to go there and choose extra small. Okay, yep. Let's see now. I think at this stage the 16 is just quite much, so let's go with 8, and we also want to go with 8 here. I think that should give us more spacing. Okay, and then finally I want to add like an outline right here. So let's go back to stroke and let's add that tiny outline, primary 50 to it. Remember, this one already has. So with that, if you should come back here where we have the beneficiaries, you can see we actually have more. Okay, so that means I'm going to come in here now. Since we've added outline, I'm going to come in here, double click, and then add some space between. So let's go with 8. Perfect. So this I think looks better, and also it has more spacing. So that's what we're going to use for now. And the last thing I want to do here is, we created this one ourselves, so the space between, instead of okay, go and make it 8 instead of 4. If you have 4, make it 8. Okay, so we are done with this. Let's proceed now to today's design. So the first thing we want to tackle is buy or sending money. So let's take a look at sending money. So I'll just click this and I want to duplicate this. Okay, Control D. With Control D there, I'm going to bring it right here. Oops. Okay, I'm going to pick it and I want to bring it right here. So move it down. Okay, move it down because this is a new flow. Okay, remember, we'll still arrange all these things. We just want to get used to Figma. Okay, now instead of buy airtime, I'm going to have here send money. Okay, send money. And with send money, we want to ask the person to maybe choose frequent beneficiary. So we're changing this contact to beneficiary. Okay, beneficiary. I hope that's correct. So we're changing this to beneficiary, and we'll probably just instead of this MTN, we're gonna have Access Bank. Okay, Access Bank. And then for here, we might just have FCMB. And here you might just want to have GT, okay, GTB. And you can edit all those ones later on, okay? You can just change the name and do things. Now, the next thing you want to do is enter amount. Of course, we don't need this, okay? And then after type in enter amount. So for this enter amount is going to double click to enter into the component. Okay, so user input, no user input, so this is going to be 0.00 for now, so the person can enter the amount. Then instead of enter phone number, I think we have enter phone number, so I'll probably go and edit it later. So let's click on account number, enter account number. Okay, let's be more specific. Enter beneficiary account number. Okay, I think there's a mistake on that beneficiary right there. Okay, great. So we are going to remove this button because there is nothing here yet. No button here yet. Okay, so I'm going to delete that button. So basically what we want the person to do is to come in here, type in the amount and type in the bank, or choose a beneficiary. Okay, either one they do. Once they type in the account number, it should bring out the bank, right? At least the system should be able to match the account number, but sometimes it might just bring out extra account numbers. So let's duplicate this now. Control D. I'm still looking at that spacing, whether we should revert back to 24. I thought I had used 32, but okay, let me edit this. So this particular place is going to be select bank. Okay, select bank. And once you are selecting bank, that means you've obviously entered the amount. So I'm just going to select this and select that. And then I say, yes, user input. Yes, there is user input. So I'm going to put in, and we are going to assume this person is sending an urgent 2K to someone. So 2,000 naira. Then beneficiary account here. Yes, user input. Yes. And we want to go ahead and enter any 10-digit account number: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So yes, user input. Yes. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So yep. So we have this here. And the next thing we want to do is to create a pop-up that brings out the suggested bank account. And we're not going to be designing from scratch. We're just going to go back and pick some of the designs we've done. So I want to pick this guy here. Let me just duplicate it. Okay, make sure you don't convert it to a component yet. Remember that menu pop-up we did, right? So yes, I want to pick it. And you also want to go back to the helper file, make sure you go back to the link, okay, re-download it because it has been updated. So you want to go back to the helper file and pick this radio button and fidelity, this ATM card. Now, these things are not difficult to design. So if you really want to redesign them, that should be after this particular lesson, okay? So you can just go back in and then inspect what we have use the layer panel to inspect what we have and try recreating it, okay? They are not difficult, okay? So let's come back here and paste it. So I'm going to bring in that radio button, okay? So I'm going to bring in that radio button. So let me search radio. So here you go, radio button right there. I'm just going to drop it here, okay? And I don't want this. So let me first of all, okay, I don't want this. Okay, I don't want this button. I don't want this. Then I want to space them out, space between, double click so that it's space. Okay, you can see what I've done so far. Yeah, so space between, that's what you want. Let me delete these two. Okay, let me Control D and Control D to duplicate. So for this first one, we want to say Access Bank. I don't know why I keep saying I keep using Access Bank. Perhaps they should come and sponsor the next training for next year. Okay, so we have Access Bank there, and then we have Fidelity Bank, and we probably have the next one. Let's just use OP. Okay, let me write it. OP. Oops. So O is this capital O, capital P A Y. Okay, OP. I think they are the ones that are Paycom, right? I don't really know, but it should be. So we have these three. Okay, so these three, they are going to pop out. So let's go ahead and select this box. And once we select it, we want to go to stroke. And let's add a stroke primary 50. And we want to select here and just say bottom. Okay, so we have like a demarcation. Okay, the same thing, we're going to repeat the same thing here. We want to have here 50. Okay, let's add that bottom stroke to it. Okay. And the last one is just not going to have it, okay? So there's a way you target this on CSS so that the last child doesn't have this particular outline. So that's what we want. And voila, we are done with this. So let me just go drag it in. Let me, instead of menu pop-up, let me call it bank, select bank option, okay? So we want to restrict this to only three banks. Now, we are trying to basically master Figma, right? In actual production, you might want to include extra options here. So in case their bank is not listed, you could actually go and search for your bank, okay, in case it's not listed. And also there's going to be some form of validation right here. So once you type this in, there's supposed to be like, a loading button here for these banks to pop in, okay? In some cases, you might decide to ask the users to, impute the bank details, the bank name before they enter the account number. So either way, you must do some form of validation in real life, okay? So since we've done this so far, the next thing I want to go ahead and do here is to create the transaction summary, okay? So here, instead of send money, select bank, okay? So here should be select bank. I don't really know how we're going to prototype this, but if it's going to pop up here, so we should leave it as send money because it's a pop-up. It's not like a new page, right? So let's also change this to send money, okay? So Control D, and we're going to have like a transaction summary here, transaction summary. And this is where we are going to have, let me just right click and change that to summary. This is where we're going to have the details, okay? So the first thing I'm just going to do is to pick my text tool, okay? Pick my text tool, type in amount, okay? Amount. Let me put that in caps lock, okay? Amount. And I want to go ahead and Control D, duplicate this. And for this, I want to put in 2000. Okay, 2000. And the next thing I want is the beneficiary. So let me Control D, and then I want to do beneficiary with my caps lock on beneficiary. okay, and then off the caps lock, and I want to type in, pick this one, this particular one, Control D, and I want to type in let's just say this person's name is Grace Adejo. Okay, so Grace Adejo, and I want to come here and copy this number because we want to make it look like, you know, it's the same person. So Grace Adejo, and let's paste in that number there, paste in that number, and then we want to space and then add this with your keyboard, and then add in Access Bank. Okay, so this is the beneficiary. So I'm going to now format this. Now for this and this, we want to go with body base semi-bold. I think that should be body base semi-bold. Okay, I think that's fair enough. Let's go ahead and change the color. I want to use like green. So let's go ahead and use our green 500 for these guys. Okay, and for this, we want it very bold. So let's go ahead and use our H3 bold. Okay, that should be fair enough. And let's change the color to our blue. Okay, blue 900. The same thing, let me select these two and change the color to blue 900. I think that is better. So blue 900, color, instead of black, we want blue 900. Okay, so I'm going to now select these two, 1, 2, and do Shift A. I want to add them in an auto layout, and let's go with 8 there. Then I'll select this, and I want to do Shift A. Let's probably also, I think it should be, let's go with 4. Okay, so let's select this and this, Shift A. Okay, and let's also go with 4 right there. We don't want much spacing. So I'm just going to select these two guys and drag them inside this form. Okay, drag them inside this form. And remember, for this form, we no longer want this frequency. Okay, we don't want the frequency. We don't also want the enter amount. We don't want the enter amount, so we are just deleting them because we are done with these guys here. So enter amount, we are done. Enter this, we are done. Okay, and we just want only this, and then let's go ahead and copy this button from this particular one. Select the button. Okay, Control C, and I want to come back in here. Now once we get to paste, once we get to advanced UI design, we'll take a look at how to actually make this design a little bit more interesting. Maybe you want to make it look like a real, you know, transaction slip or something like that. But for now, let's just walk through to really understand the flow, the process, and also how to master Figma the more. Okay, and for the first time ever, I'm going to introduce you guys to the pen tool, but we are doing something very simple, just drawing a single line. So click on the pen tool. I want you to click on the pen tool, come into your shape. Because we are going to use fill container, there is no need to, you know, try to measure. Just click, okay. Now hold down Shift and move your mouse. Just move your mouse without clicking on anything. Just hold down Shift and move your mouse so that it gives you a straight line. Make sure you're not clicking or right clicking, okay? So let me do that again. Let me just drop and do that again so that I know it's always an issue using the pen tool for the first time. Okay, so I'm going to repeat myself. Okay, let me repeat that again. So I want to go here, click on the pen tool. Now you should just click once. Don't press it, just click once. Okay, click and then hold down the Shift key and move without pressing anything on the mouse. Okay, so once you move, when you get to any point at all, because we're going to use fill container, you click again. Now, if you click again, release your hand from Shift and try moving. You will see that the anchor will follow you. So what you want to do is to hold down Control to stop using the pen tool. Just hold down Control and click again. That will stop, you know, the pen tool from drawing. Then you want to move up here and click done. Now I know a lot of you that have not used the pen tool before, you are going to do a lot of mistakes here. So just go back. If you've drawn anything, just hold down Control, click to deselect, then click done, delete it, then repeat it. Remember, you just want to click, then hold down Shift to get a straight line, move your mouse and click again. Okay, it's pretty simple. So let's come in here and give this a color. Let's go with our primary 100. Okay, and I'm just going to drag this right inside here on top here. So like I said, you can see it's just short, but you want to go ahead and make it fill container so that it fills the container. If you want, you can repeat the same thing for these guys, but no need. So yeah, we have our select bank, and instead of purchase airtime now, here is going to be send money or whatever. Let's just use send for now, okay? And let's use send money, okay? If we are going to put transfer here, that means we need to go back to the menu and change it to transfer. We want to use the same vocabulary. So let's now go to the next one. The next one obviously is for, let me move these things, okay? Let's follow the convention we're following, okay? Okay, great. So the next thing is obviously the page where they have to impute their PIN. So let's come back to our assets and look for that OTP screen. And then this OTP screen, I'm having an issue with it. So let's enter here and enter here as well. So usually the essence is okay, let's edit this first. So you are about to send. So this is just writing. You're about to send 2,000 naira. You're about to send 2,000 naira. That's 20. Oh my God. 2,000 naira from your account. Let's remove this power unit, okay? You're about to send 2,000 naira from your account to that number we copied. To Grace Adejo. Okay, Grace Adejo. And let's just say we want to include the bank there just for context. 14568 5365. Okay, let's do space and add the pipe there, and then you want to do access bank, close bracket. Okay, please enter your PIN to confirm, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is the normal page. Now, like I said, I have some issues with this. It's not actually very visible. So the essence of overlay, whenever you are using an overlay, whether it's a pop-up or a bottom sheet, you want to try to give the person context of where the person is. Okay, so the person should be at least still be able to know exactly what's going on. Although I just wanted us to make use of this blur effect so we don't forget it. But now I want to go back here. Let's work on it a little bit. So let's select this one, both of them. Okay, let's select this one and let's go and make the transparency somewhere around 25. Okay, and we want to make sure the blur is set to, okay, blur set to 15. So let's use the same thing here, 25 and set to 15, blur set to 15. Okay, so let's go back to any of the page that have this and confirm. Okay, I think this is fair enough, although it's still not very clear, but let's use it like that. Okay, so we're going to use it. Basically, I just want the user to be able to see what's happening behind, but in production you are going to make this a little bit more clearer. Okay, let's just do that instead of trying to do, I just want us to use this effect. So let's come in here, instead of, let me reduce the blur even further. Okay, the background blur, let's even go 5. Okay, background blur, remember we are editing the original layer, the original component. Let's go 5 and see what we have. Okay, I think this is great. So at least the person can see transaction summary right there. Okay, so after transaction summary, what next we have? We just basically, let's call this, let's change that to transaction summary. Okay, and for this, we want to call this one OTP. Okay, transfer OTP. So you need to name this so in case when we are prototyping. Okay, now let's do Ctrl D again, and for this one, remember after the OTP, let's delete this guy. Oops, what did I delete? Okay, so after that, we want to, the transaction, the last screen, that's the transaction here. You want this, and let's go ahead and center it. Oops, where did I put it? Okay. Let me just drop this here. Make sure it's not inside the form. So that's the mistake I made. Then center it appropriately. And now instead of loading, at least we can see that 20,000 right there. Instead of loading, we can just put in something like sending in progress. Okay. And already you know what's going to work, what's going to happen. So yeah. So once this is done, when you click on done, it sends you back to the home. Okay, so just like that, we are done with the send money flow. Okay, so once you want to send money, you click on send money and then you type in the amount and the beneficiary's account number. Once you type it in, the system is going to like validate that account and then pop up the most matched bank accounts, and then you select it. And once you click on that select, okay, it takes you to the transaction summary, and then you can just see the summary. And if you don't want, you can go back. But if you want to do it, great, you just click on send. Once you click on send, it tells you to enter your PIN, and once you enter your PIN, it performs the transaction and say done. Okay, success. Then you head back home, basically. So the next one now is to manage our card. So to manage our card, pretty simple. Okay, let's duplicate this now. Let me go ahead and do Control D. Okay, and I want to bring this down. So I want to bring this down. Okay, so go ahead and bring this down. Okay, let's call here card manage card. Okay, manage card, and we want to go ahead and delete this. Okay, and here too we want to call it manage card. Okay, manage card. Okay, now I want you to go to your your asset typing card. Remember, if you have not picked it, make sure you go to the helper file, click on the link to get the new updated one, then you bring it in and just drop it there. Now, like I said, designing this card isn't that much. Once we get to advanced UI design, we'll take more time to practice this, okay? But now we're not really doing UI design per se. We're just trying to learn Figma, know some of the things in Figma, and know how to work with them. So I'm going to move this up. And I think we usually use 40, right? So let me measure. And I want to make sure this is, let me center this here. I know it's going to center. So that's 38, 39, 40. Okay, so 40 there. So we have this card now. So the next thing we need is a button. Let's go ahead and choose a button. Let's pick a button. And this button is basically going to, that's our button right there. Pick this button. Okay, drop the button, and we don't need any of those. And instead of button, we want to add remove card. Okay, remove card, enter, and let's activate. Okay, let's change this button to secondary. Okay, so let's go ahead and activate this particular grid so that we can arrange it. I want it to be full. Okay, full width. Okay, good. And drag, and yes, great. So perfect. So let's go ahead and choose the spacing between this and this. Spacing 53. Let's go ahead and make that 40. I think 40, 32, 40 is fine. Okay, let's use 40. So make sure you open this on your phone so you can actually see what you're doing. Now, if you should click on remove card, we are expecting, don't just remove the card when someone clicks on remove card. Okay, you have to ask the person, are you sure you want to remove this card? So we want to go ahead and design that particular pop-up. So let's pick our text tool now. You want to go ahead and type remove card. Okay, so remove card. Then I want to pick my text tool again. And let me just type let me copy something I generated, okay, just to be faster. So this is going to say, are you sure you want to remove card, blah 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 blah, so many talk. So, and then here, so anytime you are designing, we are going to need two buttons, okay. Button 1 is going to say remove all the icons, okay. Button 1 is going to say cancel. Okay, so now this is something about removing cards. Number one is going to, button 1 is going to say cancel, and button 2, so this is what you call a button group. Button 2 is going to say remove. Now this is something you should know. Anytime you are doing, let's type in remove there. Anytime you are doing something like this, because this is a destructive action that is going to remove this, it's better, this is where you now use those our destructive colors, okay. So let's come in here and make this particular one red. So let's go to our red. Okay, we said error, but destructive. Okay, red. This is okay. Now for this, we don't want to make it this because it's not like a primary action. It's just cancel. So let's go ahead and give it that muted one. That's secondary. So let's select these two, Shift A, and let's put in 16 between them. Okay, 16 between them. And then these two guys, let's make this one so that's our color. Blue 500, sorry, 900. Okay, let's go ahead and make it 900. Want to make sure we're using the blue 900. Let's select these two. Okay, Shift A. Okay, let's go and do space between two guys should be, let's say, maybe let's go with 16 is actually too close. Let's say 32. Okay, because this is like a header and a header there. Okay, 32 might be too large, so let's just use 24. Better. So now I'm going to select these two again. You can call this one BTN group. Don't worry. When we also get to advanced UI design, like I said, we're going to look at how to properly name layers so that it's easy for us to communicate with developers and other professional designers. Okay, but for now, just give it that name. So Control Shift A to add an auto layout. And for this auto layout, I want to go ahead and give it a padding of 32 round. So let's use 32. And I think if we're using 32, maybe we'll go back to that form and make it 32. I don't know, but I think from here, you guys should be able to take some decisions. So let's give it a background of white. And let's go ahead and also make the curve, okay, 16. Okay, so this is our the remove card pop-up. Okay, so once you click on which alignment you want to use, it's actually on top center. Let's use left center. Okay, so once you click on remove card, this should pop up. Okay, and once it pops up, if you select cancel, it comes back here. But if you click on remove, then let's duplicate this now. Control D, and let's duplicate this, and let's just call here removing card. Removing card. Okay, so removing card. Once you do that, let's take our removing card. Okay, so here, drag it in. Okay, and oops. Not this one. Where is the parent? The fuller one. Okay. Drag this in here. Okay. Move it up. And you can see once you start creating these components and start reusing them, it's easier. Okay. So here, instead of loading, we're just going to have removing card. Okay. Removing card. Now you can see we're having a little bit issue with accessibility right there. So let's see if we should change this color to white. Or this primary 50, or should we leave it? Let me use primary 50 for that particular one. Yes, primary 50. Yes, let's work with that instead of okay. Although accessibility is still an issue right there. So, but let's work with this for now. So immediately after this, it should probably, when you click on done, you should go back to the home. But now this home is going to be quite different. So this dashboard right here, okay, I'm going to just duplicate it and I'm going to move it down. Okay. So here we are. Let's also go ahead and arrange this. Arrange this. Okay. Okay. So if you actually want, you could put this in an empty frame, but let's just do what we have there. Okay. And I think for this one, we are going to give it width of 390. Let's give it width of 390. So that is the same size with our pop-ups, 390. Okay. So let's use center there. Okay. Let's use left center. And these guys, what should we use? Okay, let's just leave it this way. Now we want to go ahead and remove this. Okay, we want to go ahead and remove this. So let's delete this now. Or let's just hide it in case we change our mind. Let's just hide it instead. Okay. Now, once hidden, you want to move this one up. And remember, we're using 16. So let's check. This is 24. Let's move it up until 16. Okay, good. And then I'm going to increase here one more time. So we have one more. Okay. Okay, now let me make sure it's okay here. Okay, good. So yeah, so once you delete the card, it should bring you back here. So you see that there are no cards. Okay, you can still add spending money anytime. And for this one, just to try it out, I'm going to do a quick prototype because this one, the prototyping is quite easy. There isn't much steps. Okay, what you see is what you get. So how do we achieve that? Let's go to prototype. This is just testing. We'll still create a new page for prototyping, then copy all our apps to that page to prototype it. Okay, so we assign, once you click on this remove card, it should bring this overlay. So drop it here and you're going to choose overlay. Instead of navigate to, you want to choose overlay. Okay, overlay, open overlay. And yes, we want it centered, and yes, we want it to move in, not instant. We want it moving from the bottom. Okay, and yeah, we want anytime we come back, Figma should be able to reset everything so that it does not deactivate. So you want to activate these two. Yes, add a background. Okay, good. So next thing, we want to come over to this overlay and click on this cancel. So if it is cancel, it should go back here. Okay, so how does it go back here? It should move in back this way. Okay, so it should move in back this way. And what if the person clicks on remove? It should come in here. Okay, so it should go here if the person should click on remove. Okay, so it should move automatically. Should we use let's use instant for this before, because you just want it to, you know, move to that page. You don't want any serious animation. Now from here, once you are done, okay, you can now select this or even select the whole thing and say, okay, once it's done, you click on it and it moves to this screen. Okay, once you click on it, it moves to this screen, and instead of instant, let's go ahead and choose moving, and moving, let's use that. And yes, so let's just try these basic animations. Okay, but that moving there is kind of too slow, so let's use about 150. Let's also check this one out, the moving in, okay, instead of 300. So we'll still talk about motion, but like I said, don't worry about motion. Most of the time, a lot of people professionally don't use Figma to do motion. Okay, I showed you two apps yesterday that you can use for motions. They are more effective, and also we have Protopie there. Okay, so let's try and preview this. So let's go to preview, not present now, but preview. Okay, so once you're on preview, let's test it out. Let's select that manage card to test it out. Let's go back to the design. Okay, so here we are on the preview. So if I click on remove card, you can see we have that pop-up. If I click on cancel, it goes back. If you click on it, it comes here. Then when you click on remove, it says, okay, removing card and done. Once it goes to done, then you can click on done and it takes you back to the home page. Okay, would have preferred the other way. Okay, so basically this is the flow we just did. Let me do that again. Go to click on manage card. Now, immediately I click on manage card, Figma is going to remember all the states of those components. So that's why we clicked on that states management and preservation. Okay, so let's try this again. Remove card. Okay, cancel. It goes back, it goes off. Remove card. Okay, remove. It says okay, it's removing, and then it tells us done. So yeah, so basically this is how you go about things like this. And I think this was success. We should have also made it white, but yeah, so done. Okay, so it brings us back to this home page without the card management. So if you're here, congratulations, and see you in the next class.